It's a great day when you're hanging around. Nothing's ever gonna bring me down. Good times are coming our way. Whenever, wherever, whatever today.
Today is going to be a great day. I am Nikki G, your host. Welcome to the Lone Doctrine, the food for thought exploration station in your place in making today better than yesterday. I feel like the world is experiencing so much tension that we're like a rubber band being stretched out that can either snap back and slap us in the face, break altogether, just maybe it's going to fly us into a better future. I am one to make up the strangest metaphors, but does anyone else feel me? The world is, I don't even have a word to explain it. Last month, we explored the importance of understanding one another and understanding ourselves. And especially in the United States, this year is going to be a big year. And I think no matter the outcome of the quote-unquote vote, by the way, this is not a political podcast, it's going to cause friction. Now, again, this isn't a political podcast. And if you ask me, I've always stayed as far away from politics as possible. And interestingly enough, I was having this talk with my mom the other day and realizing how many different worlds we all live in. Sure, we're here on one earth, but everyone's lives is so drastically different. I grew up in a small town and ended up in a big city. I've traveled a lot, met a lot of different people, and have come to realize in the variance in my hometown of growing up with around 15,000 people, I was also driving to distant towns that had even less, a few thousand, and one that only had a few hundred. No matter where you're from, it's as if we each grow up in a different type of bubble. Sorry, another interesting analogy. But what if we took more time to understand that our differences are just that, different? It's our actions, how we treat others, our intent that is good and bad. But what if you met someone from the town of just a few hundred people and they were content as can be, just say tending to their farm, staying out of politics, taking care of their family, growing food on their land, and helping travelers as they pass through? Is that such a bad thing? My mom and I were saying that the influence of the media, of social media, and the overabundance of information in the world today can literally put you in a different world. When someone who doesn't even have a TV, let alone a smartphone, is possibly as happy as can be, healthy and whole. I'm sure some of you are saying, well, they aren't really contributing to society. They're not progressing the way of life, and sure, maybe they aren't in some ways, but maybe they're reminding us of what we've forgotten. The simplicities in life, the true important values, the less system-based lifestyle. You might agree, you might disagree, but that's not the point. I'm only hoping to make you think, to really look at your own life and find the unity rather than the divisive nature that's constantly being plugged into our daily lives. Even right now, you might want to disagree with what you're listening to just to disagree. That's how much we're surrounded by divisiveness. When did we all get so far apart? After my long-winded intro, I've finally come to the topic of the month, acceptance. This is a mouthful, but what I'd like to explore is the acceptance with self. I've found that more often than not, the ones that cause the most conflict are the ones who are holding on to something along the lines of negativity or not accepting themselves for who they are. It could be fear, shame, guilt, or the inability to face all those aspects. A front, a wall, an unresolved issue. The ones that fight the most within themselves are the ones that are the most confrontational. It's always been baffling to me that we teach our kids to have manners, not to say or do bad things, be nice to other people, don't hit, don't get into fights. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. And then we have adults doing just that, going against everything we tell our children not to do. We talk mean to each other, we get into fights, physical and emotional. We bully one another online without any accountability or remorse. We'd rather tear each other down than lift one another up. And not to mention war. War. We literally plan to go and kill one another. Hypocritical are we acting? How do we ever hope to create a better world? Sure, you might be saying, I've heard so often, especially from the servicemen and women in my family, is that there's always going to be bad people. Am I thankful for their service? Absolutely. Do I wish we could address the root cause of quote unquote bad people and prevent all the violence and hate altogether? Absolutely. That's why I advocate for better mental health. Why you being here is so important, because your well-being affects the whole world. When we come to accept ourselves, to truly embrace all our truth and even our flaws, and the willingness to keep growing, the world around us begins to change. We no longer hold the harsh judgment we once did. We can empathize more for those who struggle. We can create a better perspective to see hardship as opportunities, and we stop competing with one another. Your only competitor should be yourself, trying to constantly be your best self. I can hear all the sports fans and the people who are disagreeing clicking off and thinking this is way too hippy-dippy. But if you're still here and listening, but feel conflicted, I'm talking about the bigger picture. Sure, we will have things in life that are clear in what a goal is, pun intended, but the comparison game, the heaviness of never feeling good enough, or that you don't fit in, that you don't belong, or you can't meet the unrealistic societal pressures is what more so I'm exploring. We are here to fulfill our truth, to find betterment, to grow each and every day, and just think, if we all continue to accept ourselves in the fullest, and then we're at a place to feel good about lifting one another up, the world would be a much better place. So, as I ramble on, I want you to take this quote with you this week and start, if you haven't already, the journey of accepting your fullest self. Do not look for happiness outside yourself. The awakened seek happiness inside. Thank you so much for being here with me, whether you're a longtime listener or a brand new one. I really appreciate you being here. I believe if you are here for a reason, and part of that reason means you, yes, you, are taking the steps to make your life and this world a better place. I hope as we explore the many topics of our mental well-being, we all can continue to grow, because together we are better. I'd also love for you to join our community at patreon.com/Lone Doctrine to be a part of making today better than yesterday. That's patreon.com/Lone Doctrine. patreon.com/Lone Doctrine. And the link is also in the show notes to make it super duper easy. And we hope to see you there. And until next time, keep fighting the good fight.
It's a